Did you know a flea can jump 36 inches high? That's incredible. But something strange happens if you put a group of fleas in a jar and screw on the lid. At first, they'll jump and hit the lid over and over again. But after a while, they learn to jump just high enough to avoid hitting it. They've been conditioned to believe that's their limit. Even their babies will learn to jump just as high, never reaching their true 36-inch potential.
A flea has a 36-inch vertical leap. Now, if you capture a flea and you put it in a jar and you put the lid on the jar, that flea still has a 36 vertical leap. So it will start jumping in that jar until it hits his head. And once it hits his head, he starts making adjustments. So then the flea reduces his jump and he jumps just high enough to where he almost touches it, but he don't hit the lid and get knocked back down. Now, if you put another flea in there, that flea has a 36-inch vertical. And then once they find out they get knocked down a little bit, that flea starts jumping just before the lid so it don't get knocked down.
He says we all have invisible lids on our lives, placed there by our environment, our experiences, or even the people around us.
My mom tells my dad that I've been a smart aleck in class and I'm writing down stuff that's unrealistic. He said, well, what did you want to be, son? I said, I wrote on my paper, I want to be on TV. He looked at my mother and said, well, what's wrong with that? She said, because the teacher says that's unreasonable. He said, how does she know? And that was the first moment that I found out that my father, who had a third grade education, who my mother taught to read and write, I said, man, this guy's on to something. So he told me, what did she want you to write? I said, a policeman or fireman or ball player. She said, write that on the paper and give it back to her. She said, but every morning when you wake up, take your paper, put it in your drawer. Read your paper every morning when you wake up and read your paper every night before you go to bed. If you turn your TV on today, the little boy in the 6th grade is on TV. Very true statement. Because my father informed me, son, take the lid off of your jar. And that's what the book is about, is to help people understand no matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, you can take the lid off of your jar. And if you're wondering if you still have the lid on in your life, here are some clues that's going to let you know that the lid is still on. If you're not excited about waking up in the morning, if you're sitting around bored out of your mind, if you got time to do everything anybody asks you to do, you probably got the lid on. If when you tell your dreams to all your friends, it makes sense to them, you got your lid on, man. Your dreams should not make sense to everybody. You got to say something that make people go, how you going to do that? That's when you got the lid off. And if I were you, I'd do that. I'd take the lid off.
It's time to ask yourself, what lids are holding you back? It's time to take them off and jump as high as you were truly meant to. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiration.